What is up, everybody? My name is Kneeckoh. Welcome to the chat. I'm here with Enter the Chat Gaming to talk about the newest Monster Hunter game to come out. And no, not Monster Hunter Rise. I'm talking a little spin-off game with Monster Hunter Stories 2. And this was a video I definitely didn't think I was going to do. Because this game is longer. It's like 40 hours. I was looking into it. I didn't think I was going to cover this game, but I do want to talk about some of the stuff that might, persuade you to not pick this game up, or just something to alert you and let you be aware of some of the issues that this game does face, because there are a handful of them. So I wanted to get my first impressions on Monster Hunter Stories 2 and talk about whether or not I think you should actually pick this game up or not. So if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are subbed for more stuff from me, Rico, and Toby in the future. Make sure you check out the podcast, and let's get into it. So, Monster Hunter Stories 2 is, like I said, a spin-off of the Monster Hunter series, and it's definitely dramatically different than the previous Monster Hunter entries. I, myself, have not played the original Monster Hunter Stories. I just hopped in on this one because it was on my Nintendo Switch, and I'm not upset I bought it at all. I really am actually enjoying this game a lot. It is a blast. It's super fun. So what it is it's more of an RPG, JRPG style game in comparison to the original Monster Hunter, that you're used to, where you go out, you kill the monster, you skin the monster, you make new equipment, that kind of stuff. That has kind of been separated, where now you are a monster rider instead of a monster hunter, and you're going to be taming these monsters and riding them into battle and kind of using them like Pokemon, where you'll fight alongside them, and then different monsters use different abilities that give them, advantages over different monsters, and it's that kind of thing. And it's really fun. It really is. I'm enjoying myself way more than I anticipated it. And the story actually seems pretty interesting as well. I'm not super far into the game. I think I'm like 2 or 3 hours into the game, but I am noticing some things that definitely need addressed. Now, the art style in this game is super nice. I really like the art style. It's very bright and colorful. It's definitely going to be one of those games that you're going to be looking forward to playing on your OLED Switch if you're picking one of those up later this year. But because of this, the game seems to tax the current Nintendo Switch system quite a bit. Now, I will say this is when docked. So I'm going to talk about the docked versus the handheld gameplay mainly here, okay? Because this game is very, stuff popping in all the time, but very bright and colorful. I guess when you're docked, it's just taxing the system. The frame drops are significant, and it is kind of annoying, okay? It really is kind of annoying. I was playing this, to get recordings, just to make sure, if I did end up covering this, I had gameplay footage, and I just noticed that, God, it was really, really dragging when I had it docked, and especially in like combat scenarios. It drags a little bit in the overworld, where you're running around and riding your monstie all over the place, but this is especially noticeable in the battle sequences because they are fast-paced. There's a lot of particles going on. You're doing all these special effects and things of that nature. It really, really drags, and this is something that was super disappointing to me, because the last game was on the 3DS. This one I figured would run just fine on the Nintendo Switch, because it doesn't look like it's a dramatic improvement over the 3DS version. But yeah, beware if you're planning on playing this dock. That is the biggest thing, is it is going to lag significantly. The frames are going to go down. Now, this could potentially be an issue with me just being used to, next-gen hardware. I have a Series X and I have a PlayStation 5, so maybe it's just me being me, having access to those, 60 to 120 frame games, coming back to this and being like, wow, this is not what it should be. That is a potential thing, but I don't necessarily think that is the case, because I have been playing this game handheld, and trust me when I say this is the superior way to play Monster Hunter Stories 2, okay? This is the vastly superior way to play this game, because the frames don't dip. I've had 0 frame issues when playing this game handheld, and this is how I plan to play the entire rest of the game, which is why I'm only doing this first impressions rather than a full review of the game, because I'm just going to chip away at this very slowly while I'm playing handheld versus, rushing through it to make the review. None of that. I want to enjoy this game, especially because I'm just playing it in bed at night handheld, because that is just way better. The experience is better, the game runs better, it looks better. It's just all around a better experience if you're playing this handheld. So if you do think about picking this up, I would not recommend playing this docked. If you have a Switch Lite, pick this up immediately. It's fantastic. You're going to love it. But if you are planning on playing this docked, you know, maybe streaming it or something, it is going to lag. This is something you just need to be aware of. The frames are not great, especially there's a thing in the battle system where you can turn up the speed of the combat to, you know, get through the animations quicker. If you turn that up, it really starts to drag in the battle sequences. So that is another thing you really got to be worried about if you're planning on playing this dock. It's just super disappointing because this is kind of like a chibi art style. I really thought this wouldn't be that bad running on the docked version of the Switch. So it's just, I don't know, it kind of blew my mind. I thought this was going to run perfect. It was going to be, you know, really nice. You know, it still might have been 30 frames, but whatever, it would have been smooth 30 frames, but it's definitely not unless you're playing the handheld. So that is 100% how I would recommend playing this game. Now, this isn't me dogging the game, okay? I do really like this game. I'm planning on playing it a ton. I'm going to be playing it in bed, you know, just handheld only, of course. But I'm going to be playing this to its full, you know, enjoying every minute of it. I highly recommend picking this up if you like playing games handheld. If you're going to play this docked, or maybe you just don't care about frames, then still pick this up because it's going to be a really fun experience for you. But if you are someone that cares about that and it bugs you when you're watching something at a lower frame rate and you know it should be running smoother, this is not the game to pick up unless you're willing to play it handheld. But yeah, I really am enjoying the story so far. The monsters are super cool. Like I said, the world is bright and colorful. It's super fun to explore, and the different aspects that you can do, you know, the different monster layers you can go into and get the different eggs to get yourself new monsties. It's a really, really fun JRPG. I just think that you need to play it handheld, and this is something that needed to be brought up. You know, some people, like I said, may not be down with the lower frame rate, so this may be something they decide, you know, I'm not spending my $60 on now. I just wanted to get this video out there to kind of talk about some of the issues I was experiencing with Monster Hunter Stories, because most of the people online that are playing it are people like, oh, this game's great, blah, blah, blah. You know, the story's awesome. We love the characters. We love the colors. We love the monsties, you know, all that stuff. Everybody's praising it. I haven't seen a whole lot talking about this particular issue, so it's something I wanted to address. But that is going to be it from me today. Hope you guys found the video entertaining. Like I said earlier, make sure you are subbed to the channel for all of our content. You know, me, Rico, and Toby are constantly putting stuff up every week, reviewing games, doing gameplay videos, doing the podcast, stuff like that. So make sure you stick around for stuff like that. Follow us on our social medias if you're interested in keeping up with us in that aspect as well. And then that's all I got for you. So hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.